As a Jew, speaking as a member of Hebrew civilization, for me that's so true. It's such a fundamental aspect of our civilization, right? The Talmud is full of, endless discussion because we value the supreme importance of a free, open discussion, of critique, of intense and painful discussion, if need be, in order to get closer to the truth. Yet, the idea that can be inverted, and that inversion is being embraced by academic institutions in order to be weaponized against one of the most historically dispossessed and marginalized minorities in history, is a tragedy that I think it's going to take us a long time to realize what the full implications are. Because if right now calling for genocide against Jews is being justified and legitimized on college campuses, that means that tomorrow it's going to be used against somebody else. Because what starts with the Jews never ends with the Jews. We know that. So I think we need to be very clear what the moral implications of this are. Because if we're weakening the rights of Jews on campus, we're weakening the rights of Jewish citizens of the United States and of France and of the UK and of Canada to the point where it's going to become normal to incite violence against Jews, to engage in some type of inquisition, whether or not it's the right type of Jew or whether or not this Jewish person is the Jew that you like, the good Jew versus the bad Jew, then we're going to be going to a very dark place. And it's not just going to stay in the West, it's going to spread to other places. Because even if we have disagreements with certain conclusions of Western civilization and the way that some of these societies are heading, we have to understand that Hamas, the people that some of these students and faculty are explicitly sympathizing with, they have alternative, right? They're very explicit in their saying that we want to commit genocide on the Jewish people. We want to murder every Jew on the planet as a part of our larger crusade, or in their language, jihad, to say, hey, the West is done, the Jews are done, Chinese are done, we are now imposing our extremist and violent version of Islam on the entire planet. And the first people to suffer from that have always been Muslims. So instead of seeking the voices of reason, of moderation, of which there is an abundant amount, strengthening those voices and saying, hey, right now we need to be united in condemning Hamas, just like we were united in condemning ISIS, just like in previous generations we were united in condemning the USSR and Nazism. Instead of doing that and creating a coalition for real collective liberation of Palestinians, liberation of Israelis, liberation of Kurds, the liberation of indigenous peoples in North America, instead of doing that, what we're doing right now is we're watching the voices, some of the most intelligent voices, some of the most elite voices in these places, saying, you know what, maybe Hamas is right. Maybe we need to let Hamas do what they want to do because that'll get us closer to collective liberation. And anybody who buys that lie is either delusional or they actually agree with that.